What is happening? It is time for the neck pain circuit. Now, a good rule of thumb, just like with every other pain issue, it's the victims that cry out, not the criminals. So in case of the neck, while there are going to be some issues we're going to need to clear up and look at the neck, we're going to be looking at the other areas that are likely actually causing it. Now, first of all, if you don't know who I am, my name is Justin Cutler. I am founder of EmpowerInc Coaching, where I specialize in helping 90s kids get their health back with minimal space, equipment, and time. Now, speaking of minimal space and equipment, what you're going to need for this circuit is a floor, and I'm doing this in my living room to purposely show you you don't have to be at the gym to do this. And then we're going to need either a foam roller, it could be a long one or short one, doesn't matter, or a yoga block, or in case you don't have any kind of exercise equipment, a Nalgene bottle will work. This will make more sense once we get to the exercise this needs. So we're going to be running through just 4 exercises. And again, we're going to be looking at the neck, but we're also going to be looking at the thoracic spine in a couple of ways and the shoulder blades. Fun fact about the posture and your neck. The more forward your posture goes, the more that makes you jut your head forward. It has been shown that for every inch your head goes forward, your once 8-pound head can weigh up to 40 pounds. So imagine taking a 40-pound dumbbell and putting it on top of your head all day. That'll probably make your neck hurt. And so while we're going to look at the neck, the reason we need to look at the thoracic spine is we can do all the neck stuff we want, but until that thoracic spine is strong and mobile again, no amount of neck work is really going to help. And that's where we're going to go first. This is a follow-along video, so you can pause it, get your equipment if you want, and I'll meet you at the floor. Okay, so for this first exercise, you're just going to need the floor. This is called the thoracic cat-cow. It's called that because we are moving our thoracic spine, which is basically from the collarbone to your belly button. All right? So you're going to sit as far back towards your heels as you can. Don't worry about if you can't sit all the way back. Just sit as far back as you feel comfortable. Okay? Then from there, we're going to push the back towards the ceiling. In this position, I want you to do this with me. We haven't started the set yet, but in this position, you should feel your abs squeeze and your back stretching out. Okay? And then we're going to push the chest towards the hands. And now in this position, you should feel your back contracting. Okay, right in between the shoulder blades, right in the middle of the back. All right? So here we go. We're going to do 10 of these, nice and slow. So push the back towards the ceiling, and then push the chest towards the hands. That's 1. We're going to do 10. Make sure you're breathing and relaxing. And also try to relax your neck, because if your neck is hot all the time, it's hurting, you're likely going to try to incorporate your neck and tighten it with whatever you're doing. So you want to try to iron out that issue as you're doing these exercises. Back and forth. That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't worry if that's feeling clunky. We got 3 total sets to practice this with. So, all right, next, you're going to need your foam roller or your Nalgene bottle, yoga block, whatever you have, and we're going to do what's called the open book. So we just did flexion and extension with the thoracic spine. Now we're going to do some rotation, all right? We're sitting at desks all day. Our posture can get really locked into some poor positions. So you're going to be laying on one hip. And what this foam roller or yoga block, whatever you're using, is for, is to rest your top knee on it. The reason for this is the movement we're about to do, just to show you, is this big rotation. If while you're doing this, the knee comes off, we're incorporating the lower back. So this is to help us isolate the thoracic spine. So while you're rotating, you want to make sure your knee stays on the roller or, again, whatever object you're using. Sometimes if you have a big neck issue, you're going to want to have like a pillow, another yoga block, another foam roller to rest your head, okay? If you're not using anything, just try to hold your head in a neutral position. So from here, the arm starts at 12 o'clock, and then we're going to push the shoulder towards the floor and breathe out. Come back up to 12 o'clock. I like to follow my hand with my eyes just to make sure I'm really rotating. Otherwise, it's going to be tempting to try to just move your arm, and that's not what we want. You're trying to rotate at the shoulder. That's 4. 5. You can experiment with different arm angles. What I'm going for is a nice rotation and trying to feel a stretch in my chest. So for me, that requires me to put my hand just slightly above shoulder height. 7. 8. Notice how I'm breathing out every time. You're going to be tempted to hold your breath. This is actually where you want to relax the most. 9. And 10. Okay, I'm going to flip around just for the sake of the camera, but you can just roll over and put your other knee on your object. Now, as you do this other side, you may notice a difference in stiffness from side to side. Super normal, but that's probably part of the cause of your neck pain. And so over time, you want to see that gap close between the two sides. For me, it's this left side that's really stiff. And this is where we can get nuanced and you can sort of customize it to your needs. And so one way I would customize this is knowing my left side is tighter, I might hold each repetition for a few extra seconds or take another deep breath just to give this tight side a little more love. Okay, so it's up to you, but those are the little things that can really make a big difference. 4, again, you're keeping this top knee on your object the whole time. 5. 6. 7. 8, stay nice and relaxed. 9. All right, last one. And 10. Very good. All right, next we're going to move into another area that tends to cause neck pain, and that's your shoulder blades or your scapula. Shoulder blades that are really stiff and don't work will send referred pain up the neck. And so what we're going to be doing, I call these baby scapular push-ups. We can workshop a better name, but a regular scapular push-up is when you're on your toes. And there we're trying to build strength because when you're on your toes, you have more load on your upper body. With the baby scap push-up, we're going to be on all fours, and we're purposely taking a lot of the load off of your shoulders so we can go more for range of motion here, okay? So all we're doing, and I'm actually going to show you here, and feel free to do this drill with me if this is new, is your hands are going to be about shoulder width apart, and all we're doing is keeping the arms straight, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then pushing the floor as far away as we can to the point that we're really rounding out. So squeeze them together, push them away. That's what it should feel like with your hands on the floor. So hands are nice and flat, about shoulder width apart. You're on all fours, keeping the elbows locked out. From here, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and then push away. And you should feel a nice stretch through the middle of your shoulder blades. Squeeze them together, push away. We're going to do 10 of these. So that's 2, 3, 4. Again, it's going to be tempting to want to squeeze your neck and tighten it. Try to keep it relaxed. Try to make all the motion focused in the shoulder blades. It's tough to do, but with practice, you'll get it. That's 6. A lot of people are surprised how intentional you have to be with mobility. And I mean, if you think about it, we're literally trying to rewire your nervous system. So yes, it takes a lot of intentionality. 9, 10. Okay. Nice work. Okay, so there is just one more exercise before we end the first round and begin a new round. So this is called a neck car. It's called that. Controlled articular rotations is what the acronym stands for. But essentially all we're doing is drawing a big circle with our chin without trying to move anything else. So I always try to imagine, like Han Solo in Star Wars where he's frozen in that concrete. I forget what the space term is, but I imagine I am frozen from the neck or from the collarbone down. So nothing in the rest of my body moves. You can do these seated, standing, kneeling like I'm doing. It's really up to you. The other analogy that I like to share before we go into the actual exercise is imagine there's a Sharpie sticking out of your chin and there's a whiteboard in front of you. And you're essentially trying to draw as big of a circle as you can with that chin, with that Sharpie. You may notice some clicking and popping, stuff like that. As long as it's pain-free, it's okay. It's super normal. I know for me, when I first started these, going back here was like a scary feeling. Okay, so you're not alone. I'm going to show you one rep, and then we're going to do them together. All right, so again, everything is frozen in that concrete. We start with the chin to the chest. We trace one collarbone with the chin. Once we can't do that anymore, we continue to look over the shoulder as we bring the chin up. So now we're at the apex of the circle. And now we're going to begin to look over the other shoulder. And then as we're doing that, continuing to look over the shoulder, we bring the chin to the collarbone. Trace the collarbone. Okay? Very slow, methodical circle. We're going to do 3 each way. I like to alternate. You can do 3 one way, 3 the other if you want. This is just a personal preference. All right, so we're going to go to the left first. So everything is tight and frozen in concrete. We go chin to chest. Trace the left collarbone. Continue to look over the shoulder as you bring the chin up. Chin up towards the ceiling. Look over the other shoulder as you bring the chin down. Trace the collarbone. Okay? We're going to go to the right now. Chin to chest. Trace the right collarbone. Look up. And come down to the left collarbone. Okay, that's 2. We're going to do 6, 3 each way. So left collarbone, look over the shoulder as you look up. Look over the other shoulder as you come down. Okay, that's 3. We're halfway. Trace the collarbone, look up. Back down to the other collarbone. My neck gets very stiff, so these are always nice and challenging. Okay, last one. Okay, nice work. So, how is your neck feeling? Is it feeling same, better, worse? When it comes to mobility, we're thinking long term here. It's going to take a while to convince your body to correct these issues and for these tight muscles to actually start to relax and for the weak muscles causing the problem to actually wake up and do their job. So like I said, we're going to do this for 3 rounds. In the interest of keeping this video short, we're only going to do this first set together. So you can rewind to the timestamp down at the bottom of the screen to start this set over again. Repeat it 3 times, and I want you to do this circuit at least 2 to 3 days a week. You could do this every day, and the more you do it, the better you tend to feel, but make 2 to 3 days a week your minimum. Now, if you liked this and you want more, click click the link in the description. If you are local to the Reno Sparks area, I have a special offer for you, and I'll see you for the next video.